find this inspiring and are thinking, I don't want my people to look like spaghetti, remember that this is not meant to be as a finished drawing. It's an exercise to practice the concept. You're training your mind to see rhythm in everything you draw. You're training your mind to consider more than just the contours when you're drawing shape. It's an important concept that needs to be intuitive. In all these drawings that you're seeing now, the element of gesture was applied to the anatomy to make the figure dynamic. Let's go over some important concepts to remember while practicing your gesture drawing. The longest axis. When you look at a form and try to find the gesture, look at its longest axis. Going down the length of the torso, down the length of the leg, down the length of the arm. It's in the longest axis of each form where you'll find the fluid motion from one form to the next. CSI. To eliminate unnecessary information and to capture that gesture, the lines you use should be simple. Don't use anything more complicated than a C-curve, S-curve, or straight. You can use combinations of these curves as you move down the figure, but attempt to do it in as few lines as possible using the simplest lines, C, S, or I. Line of action. Start by finding the longest action line of the body. Try to find a curve that can connect the head to the toes. Not all poses can be efficiently described with one long line that connects the head to the toes, but there is always one main line that shows a directional flow of the pose. This is called the line of action. In this pose, the line of action would be a C-curve, showing the major flow from the torso to the leg. But this doesn't tell the whole story, so this pose would need to be broken up into more parts. I think this sharp turn in the hips is important, so describing it with a soft curve isn't right. In this case, I would use a combination of a C-curve for the torso and S-curves for the legs. Relaxed and tense curve. The bendiness of the curve you use changes how the gesture feels. A longer, fluid curve feels relaxed and moves the eye quickly through that flow. As you start to bend that curve more, you show more energy and more tension in the gesture. Eventually, when it's bent far enough, you can use a zigzag. A zigzag indicates tension, sharp corners, very sudden changes in the movement. Nature presents this very well with water. When the water is calm, the waves flow in an S-curve rhythm. During a storm, when there's more energy in the water, the waves flow in a zigzag pattern. So when you want to create tension, think zigzag. When you want to show something is relaxed, use the flowing curve. The asymmetry of the body. Consider the asymmetrical aspect of the body on the side.
Hey, baby.
The forms alternate in angle from head, rib cage, pelvis, upper leg, and lower leg. This causes alternating C-curves that lead the eye through the body, like a river flowing through a stream. The tendency for us is to make things symmetrical, but this stiffens the gesture and makes the figure look like a snowman. Next week, I'll show some examples of gesture quick sketches and guide you step by step through the process. But I suggest you attempt to practice these concepts on your own before watching the step-by-step video next week. You'll have an idea of what it's like and will be able to pull more information from it because you know what to look for. You'll have questions you can focus on, and you can compare what you did with what I do. If you need reference photos, I have some pose file sets you can get at proco.com/poses. If you want a more detailed explanation